Howdy YouTube, and welcome to a video by the Unlucky Lads. This will detail the raid intel skips and black box locations on Critical, Regular and Low for the raid starting on the 24th of June running through to the 30th of June, which is Project Titan Week 292. Thank you as always for supporting our channel each week. We really appreciate our fans and hope you all continue to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, or even donate using the link in our description below. We make these raid intel and black box videos every week for you, and your support genuinely motivates us to keep making them, which allows you to quickly complete the raids and collect the black boxes as soon as the Project Titan week begins. For Critical this week, the modifiers will be Injuries Bleed, Juggler, and Technique Slowdown. And using the intel skips, we can begin by pressing 4 nodes at Ancient Harbour. This will give you access to Baal at the chemical refinery, and beating this boss will allow you to head into Sector 2. Gargoyle requires 2 intels at Forgotten Sanctuary, plus a further 1 intel at Missile Site Ruins. Then you can interrogate the guy on the roof at Camp Phoenix, before finally inputting the password he gives you into the node at Testing Zone, where you can then take on Gargoyle. For Supercomputer, you just need to hack and defend the node at Salamander. Then you can fight Quantum at the building in the sea. With the 2 bosses in Sector 2 beaten, you can head into Sector 3. Cerberus requires 2 intels at Red Phoenix, and a further 2 intels at Scandium Mine, one using your drone in B2, and the other as a pickup. Next you need to destroy 3 panels at Prototype Workshop, before finally putting 4 hands-on nodes at No Man's Land. This will then give you access to Cerberus at the top of Lava Shield, where you can complete the raid. And if you're looking for the black boxes this week, there's only one in Sector 1, which is at Heliport. Then there'll be 2 boxes in Sector 2, the first at Camp Phoenix and the other at Salamander. And finally there's 2 more boxes in Sector 3, the first at Prototype Workshop, with the last one being at No Man's Land. As you can tell, the narration voice is back to a human this week, in part due to a few comments we've seen around the use of our AI voice. While we are looking into solutions, we will likely still use an AI voice, but hopefully a human one will step in from time to time. So this week, the main summary point for the modifiers that we want to talk about is Technique Slowdown. This is because we believe most players will find this a fairly easy one to overcome, and even if you are wanting to use your technique more often, you can just wear gear or use guns that include technique increasing perks. That said, it will still recover slowly, so be mindful if you do like to use your ability often. As for the major talking point on the critical intel trail, it's going to be the Sector 3 gather, because it's likely to be where you'll spend most of the time this week. That said, the rest of the raid isn't too short either, so it is going to take a good squad with organisation and communication if you want to beat it in under 1 hour. However, if you do run into any problems, please comment below and we'll try to help you out so you can finish the raid and earn those rewards. Moving on to Regular and Low, there are no modifiers and it does just use last week's critical intel and black box locations. So you'll need to begin by grabbing 1 intel at the abandoned site to the west of Golem Island, also known as the Fishing Village. Once you have that, you can input the password into the node at the top of Chemical Pipeline, which will open up Baal at the chemical refinery. And after you've beaten the Tank Titan, you can head into Sector 2. Gargoyle requires 2 intels at Salamander, then the interrogation of the sniper at Camp Phoenix, and lastly inputting the password he gives you into the node at Testing Zone, where you can then take down the Flying Titan. Then, Supercomputer just requires 4 nodes at Missile Site Ruins to be pressed together, in order to gain access to the building in the sea. Once you've beaten Gargoyle and Supercomputer, you can move into Sector 3. For Cerberus this week, you'll need 2 intels at Prototype Workshop, before getting a further 1 intel at Traces of Ancient Ruins, which is the cave next to Scandium Mine. Then you can interrogate the bandage guy at Red Phoenix, before inputting the password he gives you into the node at the top of Lava Duct. Once you've done all of that, you'll have access to Cerberus at the top of Lava Shield, where you can complete this week's raid. And if you're looking for the black boxes on Regular and Low this week, there are 2 in Sector 1, the first at Satellite Dish and the other at Chemical Pipeline. Then there are 2 in Sector 2, the first at Camp Phoenix and the other at Missile Site Ruins. And finally there's 2 more boxes in Sector 3, the first at Prototype Workshop, with the last being at Lava Duct. Now let's take a quick look at the regular and low recap, which as you can see is just last week's critical raid, but without the modifiers and is slightly less difficult. Do bear in mind you can still get some awesome rewards playing both of these raids, but only regular will have level 300 drops, because there is a maximum level of 250 for gear and guns if you're playing on low. That's all for now. We hope you've enjoyed our Intel and Black Box video enough to leave a like and comment, plus subscribe or donate if you haven't already. Please also continue letting your friends know about our channel, because all of your support genuinely motivates us to keep making the content. So until next time, peace out, the unlucky lads.